blink, because this story changes everything. Welcome to FactVerse. It was a freezing, rainy night. Zayan missed his last metro train and was stuck alone at an old, abandoned underground subway station. The digital clock on the wall was glitching, rapidly moving backward. Suddenly, a strange, vintage, black train arrived. The door slid open automatically, revealing a warm, luxurious interior. Desperate to get home, Zayan stepped inside. The moment his feet touched the floor, the doors slammed shut behind him with a heavy metallic bang. The train accelerated instantly. Zayan looked around. The cabin was completely empty. No passengers, no staff. Jasan, Eddie, echoing hum of the tracks. He decided to walk to the next compartment to find the ticket collector, completely unaware of the nightmare he had just entered. As he opened the door to the second cabin, Zayan gasped. It was identical to the first one. The exact same seats, the exact same lights. Thinking it was just a long train, he walked into the third cabin, then the fourth, and then the fifth, but nothing changed. Panic started kicking in. He decided to turn around and go back to his original seat, but when he opened the back door, the cabin behind him was also the same. There was no beginning and no end. The train was an infinity, endless loop. The man slamming his hands against the train window, peering out into the darkness with eyes wide open in absolute horror. Outside, there were no tunnels. The train was floating through a swirling vortex of cosmic stars, purple, nebulae, an endless void. Terrified, Zayan screamed for help, but his voice was swallowed by the roaring engine. Suddenly, the train lights died. When a dim blue emergency light turned on, Zayan realized he was no longer alone in the cabin. Dozens of passengers were sitting silently. They were wearing clothes from different eras. The 1800s, wartime uniforms, and modern suits. Their skin was pale gray, and their eyes were hollow, staring into nothingness like statues. Zayan slowly backed away, accidentally bumping into a man sitting near the aisle. The man slowly turned his neck with a sickening crack. The ghost whispered in a raspy, ancient voice,
escape from this.
"Welcome to the train of
We
the
are
lost.
part of you
No
now."
one ever gets off." All the passengers suddenly turned their heads towards Zayan at the exact same time. He turned and ran for his life. He sprinted through cabin after cabin, but the ghostly passengers were now appearing in every single room, reaching out for him. Finally, he reached a heavy black iron door that looked different. It was the door to the driver's engine cabin. Hoping to find the driver and force him to stop, Zayan kicked the heavy door open with all his remaining strength. But there was no driver. Instead, the engine room was a massive, burning fiery furnace fueled by glowing black souls. The train wasn't running on coal or electricity. It was powered by the life force of the people trapped inside it. Suddenly, the fiery flames gathered in the center, forming a tall, terrifying shadow figure with burning red eyes. The entity spoke directly into Zayan's mind. "Every 100 years, this train needs a new conductor to guide the dead. If you accept, your soul will remain whole. If you refuse, you become fuel for the furnace." Zayan looked back. The door had disappeared, and the fiery heat was slowly beginning to burn his skin. He had no choice. With trembling hands, Zayan reached out and took the glowing key from the entity, accepting his grim fate. Instantly, a searing pain shot through his body. His clothes transformed into a dark, pristine conductor's uniform. The scene faded out. Zayan opened his eyes. He was sitting on a bench at the metro station. The rain had finally stopped. He gasped for air. Looking around, people were walking by, chatting and drinking coffee. It was a normal morning. Was it all just a horrible nightmare? Zayan whispered to himself, a massive sigh of relief escaping his chest. He stood up to leave, but as he put his hand into his jacket pocket, he felt something heavy and metallic. Slowly, he pulled it out. It was the ancient, glowing metallic key from the engine room. He looked at his reflection in the train's glass window. He wasn't wearing his jacket anymore. He was wearing the conductor's hat, and his eyes were solid pitch black. He was still on the train. If this mind-bending story sent chills down your spine, hit that subscribe button for FactVerse right now.